So this is a brand new PS3 emulator that was recently released, and honestly, the UI looks really impressive. The name of this emulator is PS3 Native, and that's what we're going to be testing in today's video. As you can see, I've already added quite a few games here, and the overall UI is very simple and clean. Along with testing some games, I'll also show you the complete setup process. But before that, let's take a quick look at the emulator. You can see this plus icon here. From here, you can add your games, which I've already done. You can add games in ISO format or other supported formats, and you can even select an entire game folder. Right now, you can see that I've selected PS3 firmware 4.92, which is the latest firmware. Now, if we go into the settings, you can see the kind of interface we get here. Personally, I really like the UI. It's clean, simple, and very easy to understand. If we go into the GPU driver section, you'll find an option to add a custom driver, so you can add a driver according to your device. However, you can also run the emulator using the system driver. There's also a patches option here, similar to what you may have seen in emulators like RPCS3 and APS3. These patches can potentially improve game performance significantly. Although, right now, the patch feature doesn't seem to be working properly. I'm not even able to select the patches correctly. Hopefully, if this gets fixed in a future update, I'll definitely make another video about it. Moving on, we have the core settings, where you can adjust things like PPU threads according to your requirements. There's also an affinity option, and under the video settings, you can change the resolution and other settings according to your preference. If we scroll down, you can see that I've enabled right color buffering and right depth buffering. I've also enabled stretch to display area so that the game runs in full screen. Apart from that, I haven't changed anything else. You can see that the emulator has automatically detected our GPU as well. We're using the Adreno 830 GPU on a Snapdragon 8 Elite device. Next, we have the performance overlay option. I've enabled this so that we can check the FPS and other performance information while testing the games. There are several other options available in the settings, but I haven't made any changes there. So basically, I'm running most of the games using the default settings, with only a custom GPU driver selected. Now, as you can see, I've added quite a few games here. Before we start testing the games, let me quickly show you what happens when you select a particular game. You get options like Settings, Update, and Patches. If we go into Patches, you can see that some patches are currently showing up, but they aren't being selected properly. For example, whenever I try to select one, it automatically gets unselected. So as of now, this feature doesn't work properly, and because of that, performance can vary from game to game. For now, we'll simply ignore the patch feature. Apart from that, you can use the Updates option to add game updates, while the Settings option allows you to customize settings individually for each game. There's also a VSH option here. Basically, this allows you to bring up the PS3 interface or dashboard. Alright, now let's finally start testing some games. First, let's launch Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and you can see the controller layout that appears here. There's an option at the bottom to hide the controller layout, and you can enable it again whenever you want. I've already connected my controller, and the game has successfully started. So let's begin the game. As you can see, there were no problems while launching the game, which is already a really good sign. Inside Tekken Tag Tournament 2, we're going to start an offline arcade battle. This should give us a pretty good idea of the emulator's performance. For some reason, though, the FPS counter isn't showing up in this particular game. I'm not sure why that's happening, but it's okay. Once we start playing, you'll still get a good idea of how well the game is running. And surprisingly, I'm not seeing any major graphical glitches here. There's also no noticeable frame skipping, and the game is running at a decent FPS. We're easily getting around 30 FPS, and I'm not feeling any major lag while playing. And as you can see, the game is perfectly playable through the controller. So, in my opinion, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is completely playable on this emulator. Now, let's move on to our next game. The next game is God of War 3, which is one of the most famous PS3 games. A lot of people want to play this game on Android. The game does boot up successfully, and there are no issues during the initial launch. But as you can see, the image is constantly cutting out, and we're getting a lot of frame skipping right from the beginning. That's definitely not a good sign. Even when the opening cutscene starts, the game becomes extremely slow, and I'm experiencing a lot of lag. So right from the beginning, I can tell you that this game is definitely not going to be playable at the moment. We'll skip this game here. For now, you can consider God of War 3 unplayable on this emulator. But since this emulator is still very new, this kind of performance is somewhat expected. So let's move on to the next game. Finally, I also tested GTA 5, and this game also boots up successfully without any major problem. So yes, PS3 games can definitely boot on this emulator. However, right now, most games are still not playable. Some games might work, but you'll have to check on YouTube to find out which specific games are currently playable. In the case of GTA 5, the game starts after loading, but once we reach the North Yankton section, the emulator crashes. So right now, this emulator is still very new. Visually, honestly, it looks really good. And the developers have done a great job with the overall UI. But at the moment, there aren't that many playable games. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 worked really well for me, but I'm facing problems with most of the other games. Still, let me show you the setup process, because if the emulator improves in the future, this setup will definitely come in handy. Since this is an open source emulator, here is its GitHub page. The setup process is actually very simple. First, open the emulator. You'll get an interface something like this. The first thing you need to do is allow the notification permission. Simply tap on Allow. After that, you'll see 3 different setup steps. First, go to Storage Access and give the emulator the required permissions. Once that's done, the next step is PS3 firmware. Tap on it, and then navigate to the folder where you have stored your PS3 firmware file. Simply select the firmware file, and it will start getting added to the emulator. Once you see the tick mark, that means the firmware has been successfully added. Now scroll down. As you can see, we've already allowed the notification permission. Once you complete the next step, the emulator will be fully set up, and that's basically it. For adding games, simply tap on the plus icon, and you can select your game files or folders from there. You also have the settings section, which I've already explained earlier in the video. So that's how you can easily set up PS3 Native Emulator on your Android device. Let me know in the comments what you think about this emulator and how you liked the video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.